how's it going, YouTube? Spec M Auto is back with another episode of M.A.V. today. This video is going to be pretty simple because it's going to be a bunch of current updates about the Civic and how things are going with it, what issues I might be having, what things I've gotten repaired in recent months. I know I haven't really made an update in quite a while. I'm not gonna lie, I've been a little bit, I wouldn't say I've been lazy with YouTube, but I've just been really busy with other things in life, you know, trying to get my stuff together, working side hustles, trying to make more money. And that also goes into money I've been spending on things like repairing this car, for example, and we'll be getting into that here shortly. So sit back, grab a good snack and a good drink, and enjoy the show. Alright, so 2010 Honda Civic update time. Let's pull the car over this way real quick. Well, back her up against the garage. As you can see, starts right up, runs great, per usual for the Honda. Alright. Back her up into there. And perfect. Alright. So, let's go ahead and get the garage open and we'll start talking updates. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and start with the updates that started as recent as December and work our way to current time, which is April 2024. So in these boxes here we have my old shocks and struts. I got these replaced. My buddy helped me put them in back in December. You can see just how really messed up it is, and just give you an idea of how really bad these rear ones were. So you're supposed to kind of struggle to push these down. Well, these just kind of go right down, and they hardly can even pop themselves back up. So yeah, these are just completely and utterly blown. So these are dead. Same way with the other side. This one doesn't even have any rubber on the freaking thing anymore, whereas this one does. This one no longer has any rubber, which is really bad. And now we can get to the front ones. I wouldn't say the front ones were quite as bad, but they were getting there. So here is one of the front shocks and struts here. Doesn't look too terrible, but I just went ahead and got the entire set of 4 replaced because I figured get it all done now, never have to worry about them again for the rest of the life of the car. But yeah, you can kind of see here, like the rubber boot here is kind of finicky, kind of messed up. The springs and all are still together well, so that's good. Still fairly solid, but the ride was getting a little bit rough in the front as well. But that's okay. I do have a bunch of these old parts laying around. I really should do some spring cleaning in here. Just haven't really had any time to do it. Here's the other front. As you can see, bring her out here. See all the rubber looks a little crusty, but I don't think it's really bad. I think it's just dirt. Same story for the rubber boots here. I don't think they're supposed to be like that. I think they're supposed to be all the way down to the bottom here, and then kind of go over these lip things. But yeah, all the shocks and stuff on the front all appeared to still be solid and functional. The rears were really bad. Like, I remember specifically about 3 years ago even, there was fluid leaking out of those rear struts, but I was just like, kind of not gonna lie, I was poor. Still kind of poor, but not as poor as I was 3 years ago. Thank God. But anyway, Yeah, there's fluid leaking out of those 3 years ago, and now they're bone dry and they're just completely blown. So they were terrible. So yeah, that's a quick look at my shocks and struts that I have replaced. These are all original from 2010. Let's see if I can get you guys a peek of the new stuff. Granted, they're like 4 months old now, but still. Let's see. Yeah, you can kind of see a little bit of that new rear strut in there. See if I can get a better view for you. Yeah, you can tell. You can still tell they're like brand new. I ended up not having to replace the springs in the rear. The rear springs were all still perfectly fine. So those are still original from 14 years ago. But the struts are brand new on both sides. And then we can go up to the front, where I could show you guys, well, at least attempt to show you guys the brand new stuff. Here, let me do this, make it a lot easier. So, move the wheel over, show you guys. I don't know if y'all can see okay, but yeah, that all should be brand spanking new shocks on the front, both ends. Probably wondering why the hood is open. More updates I'm yet to show you guys. I'm trying to go chronological here. Kinda see up there, all brand new. So in terms of replacement suspension components, all within the last year, straighten his wheels back out. Within this past year, I've replaced rear struts, front shocks, both front CV axles. I think 2 years ago, I replaced the compliance bushings. No, 3 years ago, in 2021, I replaced the compliance bushings. And that was when I went on a whole rant sometime last year about how Honda's trying to tell me that the replacement's already going bad, and I call bullshit on it. But I'm not going to get into that rant right now. So, got those all replaced. Let's see. What else did I replace? There wasn't a whole lot that I had to replace because this car generally is super reliable. So I had an oil leak, and I had it diagnosed some months ago because I was finding a bunch of oil pulling up on top of my transmission there, kind of by the dipstick. I had some oil there, had some oil like all in the area under this air box. Had it diagnosed to being a what is it, a thrust plate leaking. As you can see in there, this little tiny silver thing. I know it's kind of hard to see, but it's directly in the center of the screen. You see how it's shiny? Yeah, that was that gasket was leaking, so it was causing a pretty nasty oil leak. I got that all taken care of. It's all fixed. Again, thanks to my friend Isaiah for helping me. We had to take all this shit out, this air box. We had to take a bunch of wiring apart and move it off to the side. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, but we got that replaced with a brand new gasket, Honda OEM, so we don't have to worry about it leaking or nothing. And then we cleaned all that oil crap up, sprayed it off real good and everything, so it's all clean. So good news is I no longer have any oil leaks whatsoever in this car. I never ever find oil puddles or even any traces of oil on the bottom end of my car anymore. But bad news, unfortunately this thing still burns oil. So at this point I believe now it's no longer an oil leak issue, it is now an oil burning issue. And I think people were telling me a long time ago that the oil burning could be a result of hold on, what the hell? People are just honking their horn for no reason. But anyway, yeah, I was told that freaking piston rings could be failing, and that's why I'm burning oil like that. It's not like a rapid burn. Like, I can get my oil changed at Honda, and I can go from 100% oil life to about 50 to 60% oil life before having to add a cord in. So that's several thousand miles, like at least a couple thousand miles until I have to add a quart of oil. So it's not terrible. It's better than leaking and burning, so I'm at least content with that. I'm not about to tear this whole fucking engine down, tear the top off this damn thing, and replacing some stupid ass piston rings on a car that has about 270,000 miles now. So as long as it's not leaking, that's fine. I just slowly add oil on occasion. And then back in January, as you could see, that 1 of 24 date sticker, had to get a new battery. My battery took a shit. It was leaking all kinds of nasty fluids out of it. Had a August 2018 date, so over 5 years old. So I got a brand new battery, and this battery was like literally less than a week old when I bought it, because it was like the very first week of January of this year that I bought this battery, and has a January 24 sticker on it. So this battery had to have been at least 5 or 6 days old. So brand spanking new battery. Got that taken care of. Let's see. Oh, and then just Friday, I have a funny story about Friday. So on Friday, I was driving to an internal job interview for the company that I work for, right? And it was raining pretty good that day. So I got on the road right outside of work, and we were going, you know, I was driving slow. I wasn't driving stupid or anything. I never do that. But I was driving down the road, and then all of a sudden, everybody in front of me just stops all of a sudden, because this freaking idiot was jaywalking across the street. So I had to stop, and then when everyone was stopping, I went to stop, and I hit my brakes, and when I should have stopped, I was sliding forward. That's a problem. So I almost hit the car in front of me. Thank God I didn't. I actually managed to stop the car. That was like, okay, maybe that was just a slick spot. Maybe I'll be fine. So then I get on like route, you know, Interstate 270, and then Interstate 70 to go to this job interview that I was supposed to go to for my company. And several times, and mind you, the speed limit was like 65 to 70 miles an hour. I was probably only going about 55 to 60 the whole way. And there was at least a handful of times where I was starting to hydroplane and slide, and I knew my tires were getting bald, but I've never had this problem before where I was consistently yeah, but I'm so sad about how I can't get over how sad it was, because I replaced like 3 or 4 gaskets on this engine, and it still has oil consumption issues. So I replaced the valve cover gasket, and then I replaced this little crankshaft gasket right here. So that's brand new. That was brand new. Still had an oil leak. Come to find out, the VTEC solenoid somewhere in the back over there was leaking. Got the gasket on that replaced, and then most recently it was this gasket here that I was just talking about. That got replaced in just like a month or 2 ago. Now I don't have any oil leaking problems, but it still burns oil. So I mean, I can't be mad at the car. I can't hate it. Like I said, 270,000 miles, but it's in really damn great shape for that many miles. I'm also been debating on maybe taking these carbon fiber door handle things off, because they're not aging very well. As you can see, they're fading pretty badly. It's mostly on this side. On the driver's side, it's not as bad. Well, maybe it's just as bad. Yeah, see, it's hard to tell on camera, but it's just like really getting faded. it's not looking good. So the finish on it is just garbage. All the rest of the carbon fiber is holding up great. These are holding up great. These mirror caps are holding up great. It's just a little bit of dirt there, but those are holding up excellent. The front lip is holding up well. Like I said, just dirty. You guys might remember that red part that used to be in the center. Unfortunately, that is no longer there. Funny story about that. I took my mother to Frisch's one day to just, you know, have lunch and stuff. I treated her to lunch, and, you know, we were hanging out for the day. And I pull up to the parking spot, and I parked too close to the, you know, those curb things that are in parking spots. Well, I kind of scraped it, and I was like, oh shit. And I backed up a little bit, and I was like, okay, this is fine. Well, and then about a day or so later, I discovered that piece was missing, and I did the math. I'm like, yep, that curb, that stupid ass red piece off. But I'm not too mad about it, because I think it still looks good. I think in some aspects it kind of looks better, so I'm not too mad about it. But unfortunately, that tear did leave a little tiny hole in the middle of that, but it's not really noticeable, so it doesn't bother me. But yeah, those are the little updates I got on my car for now. I'm still debating if I want to eventually replace all of the motor mounts and transmission mounts at some point in the future as well. And then I have actually one more update before I go. I almost forgot because they're all in the trunk. Got this stuff out of the way. I don't even know why that's in there. Anyway, I got all brand new sway bar links and sway bar chassis mounts. So it's going to be all brand new. All two brand new in the rear, two brand new in the front, and then we got brand new sway bar chassis bushings for both front and rear as well. So all that's going to be brand new. If I can bring up the footage of me taking the sway bar link and showing you that it has play and needs replaced, I'll put it up now. But other than that, that is all that's happening currently with this car at this time. Other than that, wonderful car. I just drove it all the way up to Akron, Ohio, because we went to the Cuyahoga Valley National Park for the solar eclipse. So I hope you guys enjoyed the solar eclipse if you're in that vicinity at the time. It was absolutely amazing. But yeah, as always, Honda Civic 2010, 14 years old, with 269,089 miles currently on this odometer. It is in amazing shape. Couldn't be any more happy with it. No check engine lights, just the open door, and no seatbelt is on. But yeah. She runs great. Now, if you need a car and you need something reliable, get a Honda, 110%. And if it's not a Honda, Toyota. End of story. Stay safe out there. See y'all later, and have a good day. Bye.
When you're revving hard, then you're living fast, and we'll take this ride. We'll forever last, when your ears are loud.